Hello everyone and welcome to my... Hey bud, yeah, you. Do you happen to be out of jades and are looking to buy some shards to get Feixiao? I mean, look at these bizarre prices here. You are in the right place because today's sponsor is LD Shop. Starrel purchases are up to 16% off as we speak, and let me tell you, saving money shouldn't be this easy. Just look at the amount of money you're saving just by using LD Shop. Well, if saving money is easy, the process of the website is probably difficult and hard to use, right? Quite the opposite actually. To show you an example of their amazing speed of service, I'll be buying an express pass since, let's face it, this is like the only purchase that will keep my Starrel account free to play enough. Otherwise, these guides might get a little bit unrealistic. Simply enter your server, in my case I'll pick Europe, and your UID, and bam! Not even 5 minutes have passed and my pass is here. Not to mention the 2x top up is also active on LD Shop, so you can save even more money if you are planning on buying your first ever shards. A secure and reliable website like LD Shop is hard to come by, so help me and them out by clicking the link in the description to get an additional 5% off, which can save you up to $50. That's only mentioning my coupon, by the way. With that out of the way, hello everybody and welcome to my Feixiao guide. Feixiao is by far the most anticipated character for 2.5 and I kinda get it. With that out of the way, I'll be telling you everything about Feixiao, how she plays, what to build, what her favorite food is, where she lives. She might be an ultra powerful unit, but she isn't as powerful as the people rewriting her entire biography. I mean, oh my god, are you seeing this? These people are dedicated to getting us leaks. Her basic attacks are exactly what you would imagine them, but the skill is just as boring but way more useful. She launches the enemy back to their home planet with her axe and triggers a follow-up attack similar to her talents. Speaking of her talent is married to the ultimate and gives ultimate the stacks it needs to activate. A total of 12 can be stored in the ultimate and only 6 are required to activate it. You can obtain a stack for her ultimate every 2 hits from your allies or Feixiao, and she launches a follow-up attack every hit her allies do on an enemy. The follow-up attack I mentioned here has a cooldown of 1 Feixiao turn, so Feixiao has to take action again to recharge her follow-up attack. If you thought that was all, she has one last thing you probably saw in the image. A stupid 60% damage boost for 2 turns. That is almost as much as Robin's skill or Ron May's for reference. If you like tornadoes, then get ready because a hurricane is her technique. She gets 20 seconds of the hurricane and gains 50% speed. She gets 20 seconds of the hurricane and gains 50% speed increase while running around the map, gaining a stack for her ultimate when she enters the battle. The tornado has no cap on the enemies it can hold, so you can take a nice strip with the entire enemy force of Starrel if you want to. Once you attack the enemies in the tornado, the damage is guaranteed to crit and you get an increase to the damage multiplier every enemy you pull, up to an insane 1000 increase, meaning the more enemies you torture with the hurricane, the more damage they will take once you decide to put them out of their misery. And finally, the thing you've been waiting for and the second thing that will make you pull for Feixiao, the ultimate. It does a tiny little damage, scaling with 700% of her attack. Like, 700 is not okay. This attack does another funny moment and ignores the weaknesses of enemies. If the enemy is or isn't weakness broken, it really doesn't matter to her. They will die. She gains 100% break efficiency to non-weakness broken enemies and launches 2 different types of attacks that alternate with each hit. Stay with me now. The first one is called Blitz. It deals 90% to the weakness broken enemies and 60% to those who are not. And then we have its brother, Skyward, which does the exact opposite. It deals 90% to non-weakness broken enemies and 60% to the weakened ones. Basically what I'm getting at is, if you're going up against Feixiao, good luck. You'll need it. I recommend you level up her talent first, since you obtain the damage boost from it, and her talent follow-up attack is pretty frequent. Then, obviously her ultimate, and then her skill. Basics don't really get leveled unless you're an absolute simp for her. Trace 1 gives her 3 free ultimate stacks and basically let's say the attack counter for the allies is 0 out of 2. She doesn't follow-up attack for a turn and takes action again, so now it's at 1 out of 2. The next ally attack will get it to 2 out of 2, meaning you get 1 stack on her ultimate. Trace 2 converts any ultimate damage she deals and converts that to follow-up attack damage, or it considers it. And all of her follow-up attacks gain a 36% crit damage increase, because you know, she didn't already have enough. For the final trace, when she uses her skill, she increases her attack by 48% for 3 turns. The amount of self-buff she has is absolutely crazy. Ainz from Overlord probably buffed himself less than Feixiao at this point. The thing about Feixiao is, if you build her with relics or not, it won't really matter since her damage is still going to demolish the enemies. So, naked or not, she's still pretty good.
Dude, you can't see she's naked.
4-piece Ashfang isn't actually that bad since her ultimate can make decent use of it, but besides her ultimate, she won't really benefit from that much damage from the 4-piece at least. I recommend the 2-piece most of the time. 4-piece Valorous can also be a nice set for her, but I'm not really sure if Trace 2 changes that and messes with this set, so if it doesn't mess it up, then consider Valorous not a great set. If it doesn't, this is 100% an insane relic to put on her, not only because of the free crit rate, but also the insane ultimate damage it provides after you follow up. The usual and obviously boring 4-piece Genius is good, but personally I'm gonna run her on 2-piece, so I'd recommend 2-piece follow-up attack with 2-piece attack, which is also in my opinion easier to obtain, unless you have been farming Genius for 1.0. As for the kinky stuff, Salsozo is great since your ultimate and follow-up attacks all benefit from the plus 15% buff, and Salsozo unfortunately was the follow-up attack GOAT before Duran came along. Duran is probably the best thing you can put on Feixiao if you have another unit to follow-up attack with you on the team to stack Duran. You can easily stack it up with some units that we'll talk about later in the video. Honorable mention to Glamith if you plan on or have high speed on your relics, since you get some attack percent and a nice 18% bonus damage on Feixiao. Not that she doesn't already have way too much, but overkill is the middle name of basically every single hyper DPS. For stats, you'll want to get crit rate or crit damage on your body piece. Speed boots are, in my opinion, better than attack boots in certain situations, since it is really easy to reach 134 speed with her, but attack boots are also great as well. Wind damage or attack percent on your ball, and of course, attack percent on your rope. As for substats, 134 speed is a very good stopping point, so make sure to aim for that. After you reach 134, any crit rate stats and attack percent stats are what you're going to be looking for, and everything else is completely fine. Can you guess what her best light cone is? Come on, take a guess. Yeah, it's the her signature light cone gives her a juicy 15 crit rate, and she gains a stack of Lumen Flux every ally attack, up to 6 stacks. Every stack makes the ult damage she deals ignore 9% defense, and these stacks get removed after she's done ulting. If you're not going to be pulling for the signature light cone, you have Stellar of the Cruising Sea, since it's the classic hunt light cone everyone uses and should be using if you don't. Swordplay is pretty good on bosses, since let's face it, no way you're 3-shotting a 3-faced Kafka in 1 turn. For free-to-play options, River Flows in Spring is a very good light cone if you play with a shielder like Aventurine to protect the passive effect, and again, since we're on the topic of free-to-play, Final Victor is great since you can easily stack it up to full until she takes action again, and of course, it's completely free to play. Honorable mention, by the way, to Sleep Like the Dead if you actually have this. It's actually pretty good if you want to build her with lower crit rate stats to actually get the Lycon passive. Since Feixiao needs a Kayn to support herself in battle, the Kayn being an FUA unit, a Harmony character like Robin is going to reign supreme with her in her teams, because when Robin's ult doesn't attack, it can also stack Feixiao's ultimate, something mid-May, fell off May, she's still my second most used Harmony unit May, can't do. Robin is just the GOAT for follow-up teams, and especially for Feixiao. Sparkle is going to be your run May / Robin at home option, since she doesn't do as good as them, but her crit damage boost and advance forward, as well as the decent team-wide damage buff and the glazing I'm doing to her right now, is pretty good for a budget option. As for sustains, Linksha and Aventurine are by far the best, since they have frequent enough follow-up attacks to help stack Feixiao's ultimate. Aventurine of course being better for Feixiao, because I mean, come on, who's gonna top Aventurine? For sub DPS units, Moze will probably be one of the best units for her, since since he's an avid Robin fan, probably number 1 or 2, popping her ultimate damage and putting it on his own kit as well. And on top of that, he has lots of follow-up attacks, decent damage on his own, and helps fill that Feixiao ult better than any other follow-up attack unit in my opinion. Yunli is okay, but compared to Moze, she's a bit unreliable in terms of giving Feixiao more ultimate stacks. April 8th is honestly not bad either because she does have a good amount of follow-up attacks alongside her advanced forward attack. But March is mostly a unit that you want to use as a sub DPS, and that's that because she doesn't do as many follow-up attacks as you might think. So she's not going to do great with Feixiao, but she's definitely a very good sub DPS unit for any team. Lastly, a character you might have expected me to say, Topaz is another insane unit with Feixiao because she gives a 50% follow-up attack damage increase to a target, and with my goat Numbi, Moze is, I guess, almost equal, if not a bit worse than Topaz, but Moze is more accessible than Topaz, so it evens out. This video is taking way too long to make, so I'll get over with these fast. E1 increases the ult damage of Feixiao every hit she does through her ultimate, and each stack increases the original damage by 10%, up to 50% until her ultimate ends. Basically, the more you hit with the ultimate, the more damage she will be doing. E2 gives her a stack every time she uses her talent follow-up attack, and follow-up attacks from allies now give 1 point to her ultimate. This only applies to allies' follow-up attacks, and you gain up to 6 stacks from these. Meaning, if you follow-up attack twice with your allies and Feixiao triggers her follow-up attack, you will gain 3 stacks with her E2 instead of 2 with E0. Kind of like how Acheron operates with her E2. I'll skip over E3 and E5 since we all know what they do. E4 makes the toughness reduction of her follow-up attack go to 100%, meaning she will reduce as much toughness as her basic attack or skill, for example. If you didn't know, follow-up attacks deal less toughness damage than basics or skills or ultimates, so this is actually really good. And the big one, E6, increases her all-type res pen ult damage by 20%. It also makes her talent follow-up attack now deal ult damage and increases the talent's multiplier by an extra 140%. Basically, she does a ton of damage with her ultimate now, and her talent becomes ult damage, so whatever her ult is doing, her talent will also benefit heavily from that. Honestly, this was a pretty great change to her E6 because it was, in my opinion, kind of underwhelming. Usually in my videos, I like to put what the character's pull value and performance is, and these ratings are just to give you an idea of how Feixiao performs and are not set in stone. I'd put Feixiao's value at a solid 8 out of 10. She has incredible potential to be an insane unit like Acheron because of her hyper carry tendencies as a dual DPS type unit, being the main DPS in those comps of course. As for the ratings in the endgame, 9 out of 10 in MOC, Pure Fiction is a 4 out of 10 because she is too single target focused and it completely ruins her Pure Fiction potential, but I guess you can put her up to take care of the bigger enemies and bosses with a sub DPS unit like Herda or Himiko for the smaller enemies. To bounce back for her Pure Fiction performance, however, a 10 out of 10 performance for Apocalyptic Shadow since all you do is fight bosses and she's a single target unit good at killing bosses. Her average rating is 7.6 for all the game modes combined, if you're wondering by the way. I'm fully prepared for another follow-up unit because pulling Robin was my best decision by far. Robin, Black Swan, and somebody else I'm going to put in post is going to run with Feixiao in 2.5, so good luck to your bank account of Jades, everyone. I'll be doing a Linkshot and Moze guide eventually, so make sure to subscribe when that happens. And of course, make sure to subscribe since I will be doing more guides on Honkai Star Rail and possibly on Genshin too. Anyways, thanks for watching, subscribe if you liked this guide or if it helped you out, and I'll see you later. Peace!